Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream with Mint Market. Today we have Wednesday and we will jump right into the analysis. I will start with the news calendar here. Today, Wednesday 21st, we have FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. today. So since we have FOMC today at 2 p.m., we expect some volatility in the evening, and we have to be careful today because today the New York morning session tends to be more choppy than usual. We might see some seek and destroy, we might see some liquidity runs, so we do not expect sustained one direction move today in this morning session. So we will be picky and we will be scalping today if we find a nice setup. Let me remind you at the very beginning that all being said here is my personal opinion. All trades live are taken in a demo account. Please do not copy or use anything being said and shown here as a trade or investment advice, and do not risk real money. You could potentially lose real money. With that being said, we have 1 minute till the ICT Silver Bullet window. So far, we have opened at 9:30 here, and we have moved up so far. We have buy side liquidity above here and sell side liquidity here from the morning session. We have a new day opening gap here from yesterday's close to the day to Monday's to today's open. Sorry, that's before here from yesterday's open close to today's opening price, and we have an overall bullish bias today, or not today, but overall on the daily chart we have a bullish bias. We had a down close candle today, so we could see higher prices today, and we will see. So far price looks indeed strong. We had a run of this fair value gap here already, 10 handle move here, and I think our liquidity is here, so we've taken already the bodies out, and we have to be careful because prior to FOMC I'm not looking at a huge sustained one directional move. At least that's not what I'm expecting today primarily. Let me check out the chat function real quick. So hello and welcome, and let me know if you are watching today. So looks like the chat function works perfectly. So feel free to message me if you feel like. And again, so far we had a nice 10 handle run here from this fair value gap here. We had we took out this low here, had a small market structure, had a market structure shift after, traded back into the fair value gap on the 1 minute here, the bodies respected the midpoint, and we were rallying so far, almost 10 handles. And as a potential target, we have the high of yesterday's Tuesday the 20th AM session high. We took out the 15-minute bodies already, and I do not suspect this is very sustained one directional move today. So we will see if we want to come back again here, clean the high, but I would expect some kind of choppiness today, and I would expect a couple of stop runs today ahead of FOMC. That's at least a typical daily profile I'd expecting ahead of FOMC. Hello TT, welcome back. Glad that you're watching again. And let's see if we can make a good analysis today and find some nice trades. And also what I would like to start with is the levels I have drawn on my chart. So we have here the 8:30 opening price. We are currently above that here. We have here the New York midnight opening price. We have here today's new day opening gap. And here the pink shaded vertical area is today's opening range gap. And again, I want to see if we make another attempt to sweep this high completely maybe, or if we probably reverse and start to attack sell side liquidity. And we have equal lows here, so that's something I'm watching. So we have relatively equal lows here at 5627. So that's a level of interest for sell side liquidity here. And here we have buy side liquidity above 5643. However, we already took out the rejection block here, so it doesn't necessarily need to take out the high again. So this liquidity run here would technically be enough for me for a potential reversal after a stop run here. And what I'm watching here is this fair value gap here. So this is a busy buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, as ICT calls it. If we are bullish, this should act as support here. If we are in fact bearish, we should break this inefficiency. I'm monitoring this 5-minute inefficiency as an indication if we see a turnaround here, going for sell side liquidity below here, 5627, or if we find support here and make another run higher. I personally, because we have FOMC day, I'd like to view this as a stop run, and I would like to see a reversal attacking sell side liquidity here. Also, we are in a premium right now again. We are above the opening price here. So I'd prefer a short right now. I'd prefer to see that. However, I'm not shorting right away because I keep this scenario in mind that we may want to run a second time higher and take out the wicks as well. That's why I'm monitoring this 5-minute fair value gap. Hello, Abdul. Glad to have you back. My two most frequent viewers, TT and Abdul. We have Kelly represented here, and we have Pakistan represented here. And yeah, we have to be careful today, we have to be nimble, since we have FOMC today at 2 p.m. New York time. And gun to my head, my preferred scenario today would be this was already the stop run, and we are going lower now, attacking sell side liquidity here and here. So I would like to see this fair value gap being breached, but we will see if that's in fact happening. We can also measure the wick here, 5-minute wick here, and break it up into quadrants here. So we have the 50% level here, approximately. And then let's mark the quarter level here. We can measure how strong or weak price might be by respecting these wick levels here. So we just traded to the first quarter of the wick so far. That if it stays like this, that's a sign for weakness. Would support downside prices. We have traded through this fair value gap here. However, we have also 50% of this wick here. So far, we are respecting the bullish upside. So far, we have no confirmation that in fact weak. So we're going to observe price a little bit longer here. And also to use the time as a filler for now, if you guys watched, you probably knew that yesterday we took a loss during the Silver Bullet session, and I was jumping. I didn't stream it live, unfortunately, but I recorded it. Since every trade on this channel I want it on record. I jumped right into it and used the macro algo after 11:30 for a retracement long, and that paid out perfectly. I have uploaded the video if you want to check it out. I recorded the trade, nice little scalp, 5 handles without partials, right into the target. And if you're interested in this lunch macro trade, check it out. Just 5-minute video, I think. Didn't speed it up. So basically, even though not on live stream, I was able to recover from the loss right away, which is always nice. And so far you can see that we're still between these two PD arrays, discount level here, wick here, bullish order block, fair value gap. So far the body is respecting this fair value gap, and so far we also could not make it above the first quarter of this week here. So so far it's indecisive, and I do not have a clear indication or a clear confirmation if it wants to go higher or lower from here. Again, I think it's reasonable if we take another run higher as well. This would be a silver bullet long here if one would have a bullish bias today. On the higher time frame, we have a bullish bias. I'm not taking this silver bullet entry though. The reason is why I'm not taking it, because we have basically already taken out the bodies of these candles here. So that's a stop run here. So we have taken most of the buy side liquidity out already, and we are above the 830 opening price. We are above the opening range. We are above the New York midnight opening price. So we are technically in a premium market, and that's why I'm not going long in this fair value gap here. So explained my session bias to you, and so far what I want to see is a market structure shift with the opportunity to take a short here into these very smooth edges here. That's what I'd like to see in a perfect world. Let's see if I get what I want. Recently the market has denied me more often than not. All right, so far we have seen okay, we see a rundown, so that's my preferred bias here. So far from a tape reading perspective, that's very nice. And we got the liquidity here, just tapped. So perfect call. Unfortunately, no chance to trade. There was no trade entry for me. However, I gave you my bias and I gave you the target. And so far, it unfolded perfectly. We had the liquidity run. We could not get above the first quarter of the wick high here. We had equal lows here, and we took out the sell side liquidity. The equal lows I was talking to, and so now we are back in a discount. So sell side liquidity was taken here. We have a fair value gap here, and we have also sell side liquidity further down here. And again, today we are expecting seek and destroy type of day. We do not expect a very strong one directional bias move. We expect liquidity runs, we expect chop, we expect seek and destroy type trading. And if we have this bias in mind, that's good. And we will certainly not try to push too hard today, but we can still, if we have the right consolidation seek and destroy bias, we could still find some trades, and that's what we're looking at. So right now, since we are back in a discount, I am looking, and we have taken out liquidity already. We are also back. We came to the discount low of the opening range gap here, and I'm looking now and see if if we find support and if we want to go higher again from here. we traded into this fair value gap, or if we stay weak and if we want to target this new day opening gap with these equal lows here. So that's another sell side liquidity target here at 5,619. TT and Abdul, if you're still watching, let me know what your view on the market is, and if you agree with my analysis, and if you have taken any trades if you have taken any trades, if you're in anything or looking to do something, would be interesting. So there was at least down to the 1 minute chart, there was no trade setup for me. We had the liquidity run, okay. We had, but there was no chance to use this fair value gap as an inversion fair value gap, for example. We traded into the fair value gap here, took out the highs again. So for me, there was no setup here. I'd be taking with great confidence. We broke the market structure here, but there was no fair value gap, at least on the 1 minute. And yeah, it was also moving very quick. No chance for me to enter too quick. Yeah, no worries. You don't have to take every trade. Yeah, it was too quick for me as well, Abdul. And as I already mentioned, also there was no real setup. It was not only quick, but there was no real setup. Again, here I was interested to see if there is a long forming down here in the discount level area, but so far price is moving very quickly, just taking out liquidity and immediately run. So again, also here, no real setup for me. Neither on the, I basically could have called both sides. I was looking for a short here. I would have been looking for a long here after this liquidity run, but yeah, sometimes your setups just don't form. No entry chance for me as well. Too quick and not the technicals. Liquidity grab from both sides before New York open, so yeah. And yeah, that's what we're expecting today. Today is, in the AM session, is not the ideal trading day. We could still take some turtle soup or some liquidity runs probably, but most of the market is consolidating, probably because the big and interesting news driver is in the afternoon. Everybody's waiting for FOMC. The market is probably waiting to build some sentiment, so people are getting positioned ahead of the news. They're waiting for sentiment to build up, for liquidity to build up, and that's not the easiest market to trade. However, what I'm looking for is for turtle soup trades, so I'm looking for liquidity being taken out and try to trade in the opposite direction of the liquidity run if I do get a nice setup. Otherwise, we're probably staying on the sidelines today, or just risking very little. I have some boxes to tick before entering a trade. I decide to contract size as per how many boxes are positive. Oh, nice. That's very good. I think everybody should have boxes to tick before enter a trade, certain criteria. And yeah, I think it's also very smart from you, Abdul, to make the contract size or the size of the risk depending on how probable the setup, how probable you think the setup is, and how how the odds are. So yeah, very good mindset. I think you should stick with it. And yeah. All right, so you're also sharing the boxes, your personal boxes with us. Thank you for that. Let's read that out. Liquidity sweep, clear SMT divergence. Liquidity sweep, that's perfect. Clear SMT divergence, okay. I do not have SMT divergence, but it's good to have it as an additional tick setup. Divergence, SMT divergence with the bias. Not sure what you mean divergence with the bias. Market structure shift with displacement. CBR busy, that's yeah, same. That's very good, I think. Fair value gap present on displacement. All right, breaker block or order block. All right, cool. Yeah, I think that's a sound model. If you have all these things in place, I think you have a good setup, and you can be confident with executing based on that. Doesn't mean you have 100% win rate and you never lose, but if you did your research, you will probably know that you will win more often than you lose. And also money management, like the risk to reward rate, will do the math for you over time. So thanks for sharing, Abdul. I think that's a very sound model. It's very similar to mine as well. I'm not, my perfect setup is as well a liquidity run, at least on the 15-minute chart, then a market structure shift with an energetic run forming a CB or a busy, and then a retracement into the breaker range and entering there. So basically the 2022 model. Maybe I will do a video with my very specific model here on this channel at some point, but it's not the only one. I would also take a regular fair value gap, just a, as ICT calls it, I'm missing the term now, institutional order flow entry drill. So just a regular run into a fair value gap with displacement after, if I have a clear target, if I have a bias, a target, if I had a liquidity run before, if the fair value gap is quote unquote on the right side, then I would also take a regular fair value gap without basically a breaker or an order block at the same time. But yeah, I think for an A+ setup, it's very similar to mine as well. So far we are back into premium here. So now we are back into this kind of inversion fair value gap here on the 5-minute here from 9:55. So we can see if we find resistance there again, or if we trade through and make another attempt to run the buy side here and go above this wick here. So that's going to be interesting for me. No setup here though. We have a stop run, a retracement, but that's not a short here for me, even though we are in a premium. So it could go lower from here. So don't get me wrong, but I'm not comfortable taking a short here, even though this fair value gap could act as resistance. We have basically a breaker here, high, low, higher high, broke through, came back, do have an inversion fair value gap here. So very hypothetically, that's a short entry here, but I would not advise to take that. I'm personally not taking that because we are in seek and destroy environment, and I don't like this much of retracement here, just a small fair value gap here. Um, I'm not, I'd not be confident shorting in here, even though if we are in a premium, we could go higher, run for this liquidity here. Who knows? We have a volume imbalance here. All right. So good morning, Abdul. Next time, maybe you need to get up earlier in the future. There was a long entry here. Also, in my opinion, there was a long entry here um, at about 9:50. The macro here. Um, Let me explain that to you. What I mean. Um, After the market opened at 9:30, we went lower. We took out this low here. We went into this fair value gap here. Also, we have a higher time frame 15-minute breaker here. So it came back into this level here. And then we had a market structure shift here, a 1-minute fair value gap. I outlined it here. So this would have been an entry here, and we could have targeted the high of yesterday's AM session here. So um, in the so here that's almost 10 handle run. We could have taken ahead of the silver bullet hour. I saw that, but I missed it as well because we're setting up the live stream and everything. You're almost half asleep. All right. So get yourself a coffee or something, or take a cold shower, maybe. Yeah, I made the experience. I made the experience that it's good to be in front of the charts and get prepared, at least like 15 minutes before your trading window starts. So if you trade the 10 a.m. silver bullet hour, you should be in the charts, let's say 9:45. But I think to really get a good view on the market, I think one should start being in front of the charts from the market open at 9:30. So even though if you're not trading the first half an hour, my advice would be start in front of the charts 9:30 with the market open, get your annotations done, do your analysis. You will get a good feeling in the first 30 minutes what the market wants to do, and then you're ready to trade at the 10 a.m. hour. Yeah, so at least half an hour before the silver bullet, I would be in front of the charts. And yeah, depends how fast you wake up. Maybe it's good to get up at least half an hour or hour before you start trading. But I know it's hard sometimes. I don't like to get up early either, but I have the if you want to call it advantage, I have the advantage that in Austria, it is now 4 o'clock. The 10 a.m. silver bullet time is 4 o'clock Austrian time. So for me, it's afternoon. So I'm waking up on time. If I sleep until the silver bullet hour, then something is wrong. All right. So far we see resistance here. We see resistance here at this inversion fair value gap. The body's respecting it here, the 955. Still not, as I outlined, not a trade I would be comfortable in. I'm letting that one slip by. It's okay. I would not like here to get along. Now we have a market structure shift again. And it will be interesting to see. We touched now the opening range gap here as well. It will be interesting to see if we maybe can make a run lower into the sell side liquidity here. We have a market structure shift here. Low, high, low, higher high. However, we have also very, very equal lows here. So mark that. These are very, very equal lows here. We have just failed to take them out. But on the 1 minute chart, this is like a very smooth edge. So I think at some point we're going to take out this buy side liquidity here. Not easy to take a trade if the market is that fast. Doesn't really give us a lot of time today, but that's what we're expecting anyways, ahead of FOMC. So I'm not really expecting to take huge trades today in the AM session. Now we are back again in the inversion fair value gap. Let me see. Let me see. Nothing really. I think again a lot of liquidity here, buy side liquidity here. Had a retracement run lower here. So went back into the discount, touched the opening range gap here, and would not surprise me if we attack. I think we can attack the buy side liquidity here next. Not that I see a trade, just three handles here, but we can observe that. We can do tape reading at the moment until we get a nice trade entry here, if we do get one. So we took out short-term liquidity here, went almost back to the rejection block, failed the midpoint of the opening range gap here, so that's a sign of strength here. Came back into the old new day opening gap. And I think we will target this buy side liquidity here. That's what I think. I will put not a magnet, let's put, what are we going to use as a target? This one. Nice. And as soon as I put it up, we reached it. Okay, that was not the greatest trading call on earth, but I outlined it before, I think right on time. So target hit, basically. So far we are good with session bias. I think we are pretty good. And also now we have second thing occurring, which what I was telling you earlier, that it would not surprise me if we take another run into this buy side liquidity here and take out the full high here. So failed the first one, now we got our second run here, and now we took it out convincingly. So now the buy side liquidity here is definitely wiped out. Everybody who had their stop there is most likely out now. And that's what I wanted to see. Yeah, the question is, was there any long setup we have missed, we could have taken? At first, no, in my opinion. There was no, at least down to the 1 minute, there was no setup here. This retracement here, probably, but does not fit my trading plan either. We saw a retracement here, opening range gap support here, fair value gap here, equal highs here, so but not really a entry I feel very confident with. And I told you that we didn't make it to the mean threshold of this opening range gap, so that was a sign for strength here. And we traded back in all this discount arrays here, but for me, not really a trade setup here. I mean, we have, even though if you view this as a breaker, we did not break the market structure here, so that's not a breaker here. We just failed here and went lower into a gap and did not, no real trade entry chance for me, in my opinion. Nothing I would feel very comfortable with. And now, since we have taken out the liquidity here, I'm watching if we, since I'm expecting seek and destroy day, I'm watching if we have any chance to sell here maybe. Maybe we can, we have to be careful, of course. Nothing, it could still go higher from here. So I don't want to just short here on a turtle soup. So we could see strength here and run higher, even though it's not what I would like to see, of course, but it can happen. We might see a already sustained move higher before the FOMC news. So not yet confident to take a short here. This was an entry here. One could argue to take that one. We have a breaker here, traded higher, and then took out the sell side liquidity here into a fair value gap. And so far, since after the stop run here with the relative equal highs and a discount, we rallied, had a second retracement here, and rally even higher. So obviously we missed this trade here. Can happen. And it's also not perfectly in my model, so I'm okay with that. Even though sometimes you get some FOMO if you watch price moves like this and you're not in it. But we gotta live with that as traders. So far looks strong. 20 handles. Nice up move so far. So I'm very happy with our tape reading bias and direction on our calls here. Of course, I would be more happy if we would have gotten a nice trade entry as well. It is what it is. Looks like we are running off here now. Don't think this is a turtle soup now. I think now we had the bias, the overall bias was bullish. We had a stop run here, a discount, and another retracement here. So I think this is now the real move of the session. Unfortunately, we're not part of this. However, I'm not seeing this as a short here now. Obviously, let's see. We can just watch from the sidelines at the moment. We had a 3 drives pattern here. 1, 2, 3 retracement. It's always hard to watch such moves without you, but we gotta remember ourselves that, or remind ourselves that there is no need for FOMO. We will have such setups every single day and every single session. We can find some trades almost every single session. So no need to have too much FOMO here. We will observe what price wants to do here. We have a value gap here, so obviously I don't want to go long here anymore. We're too much in a premium, so I don't want to chase price here. I'm not going to chase price here. If I take a long here, I'll be chasing price, but I will observe fair value gap entry here, so we will see if this is support here. I was expecting this session to be more choppy, to be honest. So far we had a nice move so far. Let's mark the breaker here just for illustrating purposes. We have a breaker here, and we have my dog just came and laid down by my feet. Hopefully it doesn't distract me. So that's our breaker. Low, high, low, low. Breaker here, bodies respected the midpoint. We wicked through, that's okay. Fair value gap here, here, lower fair value gap. If we have two fair value gaps, we need to reckon that we trade into the second one as well. We can trade into the second one. Went higher off that. Did not really make a market structure shift here. We just went above the bodies, wicked above the bodies here, went back down into the opening range gap here, and took off from here with all these equal highs here. Every retail trader sees this as resistance here. All right, so looks like it wants to come down again. Classical seek and destroy day, as I expected it. Let's see if we can actually take maybe on a short at some point still. Market structure, or if it just runs without any setup. Again. So now we have a market structure shift here, but it looks like it runs again. So market structure shift here, high, low, higher, high. So if we come back here and trade into a fair value gap, I'm looking to sell short here now. I think we see another stop run here, and we have liquidity here still resting. So, however, we will see. Old highs is a discount array, and old high is the lowest discount, the first discount array. So we are back into that. But again, it's just very quick, and it doesn't seem to give us an entry here so far. I will remove the drawings here that were the wicks the previous here. For risk management, let me check how much risk that is. 10 handles here. Okay. All right. But again, it looks, I'd be interested in a short here now. But again, it just runs off. No chance. My setup, my preferred setup would be a fair value gap short here, but today, as always, it just runs off. It takes the high and just runs. No chance to enter. No high probability chance to enter here, in my opinion. Absolutely no chance to enter. Would have liked to see a retracement back into the range here. At the breaker, we could have entered. However, today it just wants to run liquidity and is in a very, very quick rush to run off again. And now let us keep we have today's new day opening gap here in mind. So I view this as a potential target here. 11 handles from here. So I think we could go to 5,620 here. We have already traded to the discount low of this gap here, and I think this time after this significant stop run here, I think we could take out the low here from the morning session today, and we could tap into this new day opening gap here. It's nice to see that we can outline the runs here. I'm very glad that like the bias and my calls are basically panning out, but it would be even nicer to get a chance to enter a trade. However, I'm not a turtle soup trader. I'm not confident enough to I don't like it. I don't like to short or buy above or below highs and lows. And again, here the market is very random. We see the market run exactly to the new day opening gap here. I was outlining here, took out the liquidity here. So we are in a deep discount now. Let's see. Maybe we run right in the middle of the range from here. But we have another liquidity here, so maybe we go a little bit lower. We have also this 5615 new week opening gap here as a potential level if we really want to run deep on stops. If not, we could see this could be it, and we could see a retracement back into the range, maybe the midpoint here from high to low, somewhere here, 5637. A retracement like this would be reasonable if we do not make a lower low here. It's nice that we can still predict the market on such a day. Yeah, or already 3 directional predictions that got hit, but no trade. That's a little bit the downside. Of this kind of price action. And at this point, we are almost at 5 minutes before 11. At this point, let me remind you that if you like what I'm doing, if you like the live streams, if you like me pointing out what the market is likely going to do, if I give you the bias, the direction, if I enter a trade, if I feel confident, if you like these live streams, give me a thumbs up, give the video a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. And if you like what I'm doing, that would be a real appreciation and motivation for me to keep going with these live streams. And feel free to tell your friends about the channel. Invite some friends like Abdul did with the whole room of traders watching my live stream. That would be cool. We are growing slowly but steady so far. Could be a bit faster though. And we are in the last trading minutes of the macro. We have 10:45, and the full hour macro goes till 11:10. So we have 15 minutes in this macro period left, and I think I will close it on time today because right now I don't see a trade setup, and I don't, so far the days were tricky. It has denied us any entries, even though it's still predictable. And we will wait for the highlight today, the 2 p.m. New York time FOMC meeting minutes, like you see on the calendar here. That's the show today. That's where we might see a lot of volatility today, and I will personally be definitely trading. I'm most likely not streaming the FOMC. If you will know if you have subscribed to the channel, because then you will get the notification. And yeah, we will see what happens then. So far we see a nice reaction of this new day opening gap. However, I'm not 100% convinced that that's it already. So far the reaction is nice, but we still have liquidity down here, so we could take this liquidity here as well. And the new week opening gap here is also not very far away, so would not surprise me if we go a little bit lower. take this out as well, but it does not have to, of course. So far we have a fair value gap here, so this could send us lower if it's in fact weak. Not a short opportunity for me. Don't want to take this short. We're too much in the discount. I would prefer taking a long here. Let's see if we get some chance, but I don't think so. Today we just see stop runs and then immediately run away without any entries here. They just want to build sentiment up. They don't want, obviously they don't want anybody to take part in these moves. If you're very brave, you can short the highs and the lows without any special confirmation, but that's not my cup of tea. I kind of want confirmation. I'm not that brave enough yet to short highs and lows, old highs and lows, right into it. Alrighty, right. Alright. So far nothing interesting. Let's see if we had a little under 1 minute low taken out here, most likely, and I want to see if we can make another attempt lower here, reaching maybe into this old new week opening gap here. We can measure this wick here. We have a wick here, 15-minute wick, and we can see if it respects the midpoint or if it wants to trade through that. If we respect the midpoint or the quarter here, we could go higher from here back into the range. Again, potential range here. We can measure the high to the low and the 50% level here. That is a level, if it doesn't go lower like this, we could see a retracement to 37.5 at some point. If it goes lower than this, obviously we have a different range here we need to look at. But so far it looks, gun to my head, I think it will go lower. We can also see that it does not respect the midpoint of the wick here. And again, we had a fair value gap here. One could have entered here. However, for me, and also the reason why is, as I will remove the fair value gap here, you can see that we have here shaded area. We have the opening range gap here, and this opening range gap here, we traded through this, closed below, we came back into it, midpoint. This is exactly the midpoint of this opening range gap, high to low, midpoint here at this button here. We traded through, traded into the midpoint, support, or basically resistance lower, and we can see that the reaction from the midpoint, we see a reaction lower here. Fair value gap entry as well. So that's why I'm also looking at why I think, gun to my head, we will see lower prices. Again, at least taking out this low here, and we could upset the liquidity down here and maybe tap into this new week opening gap here if it wants to do that. at least we got an upset of this. Everybody who went long already here got taken out here if they had their stop too close. So another upset of liquidity here. And let's see if we go lower from here or if we get the market structure shift to the upside at some point, going back into the range here. And yeah, we have 7 minutes left in the full hour macro, so we'll see if I will see a trade entry in the last 5 minutes. I will show you, I will take it. If not, I will close the stream and we will wait for the big show at FOMC. And if you like, let me remind you again, if you like this kind of live stream, if you want me to give you live analysis and trade examples, live trading in front of you, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and help me to keep these streams up and going. Would really appreciate it and would give me a lot of motivation. And yeah, would be cool to grow the channel and the community as well. And so far we have just taken out the low again a second time. We have traded into the new day opening gap and we make another attempt to go higher. Not convinced of that yet. But if I'd take a setup, I would like to take a long here. But I'm waiting if we could still go lower one more time and take out some more liquidity. That's what I'm looking at here. So far it looks like we have a market structure shift on the lower time frame. So we do have a market structure shift here to the upside. So let's see if we get a long opportunity here. So far the market was not really generous in that point of view, but we have a market structure shift here. We are in a discount, so we can look, we could look if we get a chance to buy if we get a fair value gap and a chance to buy here in the next 4 minutes. So let me check that. Let me check that. Fair value gap here potentially forming. Hasn't formed yet. On the 1 minute we have fair value gaps already. We have closed above the 1 minute, so that's a good sign. However, I'm not too confident that the market gives us a really nice setup today. Right. If we do not get a trade setup here, then I will close the stream very soon, and I will be content with all the tape reading and all the calls I made today. I'm happy that most of the bias, intra-session bias, intraday bias was pretty accurate, and that's enough for today. Looks like we do not get a trade setup so far. I mean, we still have a little bit of time. we traded to the premium end. Right. I will take a trade here. Or will I? Let me check one more time. We are at the premium end of this opening range gap, which I don't like too much, but we are in a discount. We had a market structure shift here, did we? Let me move that away. No, we clearly had. I'm still not convinced that this is the best long as of now. No matter, I will take it with just one contract here. The target will be mean threshold of this price swing. So I will not risk a lot. I'm not very confident about this setup. Not too confident about this setup here. Reason for this is because we are at the premium. We traded through here and we are at the premium of this opening range gap, and this could act as resistance here and send us lower one more time, which I think could be possible. However, let's see if we get some speed here to the upside, and I have to put my stop in, and I will take a very low stop, will be here. And we will see if we can trade back into the midpoint of this range here we formed so far. And let me check something as well. And the thing I want to check, I don't want to have too much annotations here, so let me remove some of them. We can remove the midpoint of this as well. So far so nice. We have taken out the high here. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving the stop. I will move the stop now to below this low here, because we should not, since we have taken out the high here, we should not come back here and take this low out here, otherwise that would be a market structure shift here. And I think my dog is dreaming at my feet, so I hope his noises are not too disturbing. So far the trade looks pretty good. We had the market structure shift here, retracement here, we respected the midpoint so far, that's also a very good sign. And yeah, we will hold for the midpoint of this range here. Yeah, so target is set. I will put the trade to break even +1. We should not come back into my stop here again. That would be not what I would like to see. So we remove the risk, and we will wait now for our target to be hit. Also, we have a rejection block here. We could go as high as this fair value gap here, maybe. We should not come all the way back here. I mean, we could, but that would not be ideal. And on a day like this, where we have elevated risk before FOMC, I'm happy with with a nimble stop placement and with just one contract here, just for showcasing purposes. The trade is solid in my opinion, and our target is about to get hit. Let me see how many handles that is. Nice, 7.7 handles here. Oh, almost hit it. 8 handles. 8 handles for the S&P. That's not too bad. That's a nice scalp. And yesterday I was hitting the perfect high here. Today it just fell short. Let's stick to it still. Maybe I measured it actually good. But let's stay patient here and see if it can make another run here. It's a risk-free trade anyways. Usually it should go a little bit above the midpoint. That's what I would like to see. If not, that's bad luck. If not, then that was really close. That was really close if it fails. I mean, it came exactly to the high was 5637.25, and that's exactly where my limit order is to exit. So however, we want to run down equity anyway, so once it breaks this high, my order should be tagged, and we want to get out of the trade, or at least take a partial anyways. And so far I don't need to worry about the trade, so yeah. It might go further ahead, but the mean threshold I took is still the low hanging fruit. So the midpoint of this range here, again measured with the Fibonacci, is the easy target. So it should at least get to that, in my opinion. And it could go higher after that, or higher still, but I think this is the target that is can be hit with a great level of confidence, in my opinion. It's not too bad of a trade here. Fair value gap, body stayed above here. Nice to see, midpoint, nice. All right. Again, exactly the high of my stop. Ah, come on, get one tick above it. You can do it. Oh man. Oh, that's disappointing. That is disappointing so far. All right. If you like what I'm doing, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel to not miss any further live streams. I will try to do it daily from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. New York time. And I will give you my live opinion about the market, and I will give you live trade examples with executions and management if I find any. Would highly appreciate it if you support the channel with a thumbs and a subscription. Abdul says, please close it manually. Yeah. So it makes you already crazy, right? Yeah. Okay. Since it's your wish, Abdul, since you're my first viewer, I will wait one more. I will give it one more chance to go up, and if it doesn't do it on this or the next candle, I will close it manually. But I still want to be right. I want my target being hit. It's not about making money, it's about being right. Just kidding. All right, come on. We have equal highs here. Tapped one more time into the fair value gap, and I will give it. I will wait till this candle close. Please, lol. Okay. Okay. Since I have a request from my first viewer, Abdul, oh, I will close it for you manually. Close position here. All right. It's time for me to close the stream anyways. We will see if it makes another run here, but I have to close the stream anyways, and so I can book that as a success. Um, and how can I deny my first viewer Abdul a wish on this channel? And yeah, so it was just a nice little scalp, but was a positive day with just one contract on a very high risk FOMC day. So that's why just one contract, and we will see if it can make another higher high here. However, it was a very nice trade, I think. 2022 ICT model here. We trade one more time back to the opening, new day opening gap here, had a market structure shift, came into the fair value gap here. That's where we entered after the close. And we traded up here, just fell, had the exact same high as my limit order, now closed it manual. All right, done for the day. Me too. That's it. I hope you liked the stream. I hope you liked the video, the video basically. And I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. New York time. I wish you all the best wherever you are in the world. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. And I see you tomorrow, hopefully. And I would highly appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm doing. So, all the best, guys. Bye bye, and see you soon.